You know what's embarrassing? You've studied English for years. You've memorized grammar rules. You've looked up hundreds of words. But then someone walks up to you at work or at a conference and says, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And your brain just stops.
Like a frozen screen.
Exactly, a frozen screen. And you're sitting there thinking, "I know this. I know the words. Why can't I say them?"
The worst part? You rehearse the perfect answer in your head, in your language, and by the time you try to translate it, the moment is gone.
So today, we're not talking about grammar. We're not giving you a list of 10 phrases to memorize. We're talking about something deeper. Why intelligent people go blank in English, and what actually fixes it.
Okay, so let's name this properly. There's a term for what we're describing. It's called receptive-productive gap.
Can you break that down?
Sure. Receptive means what you understand. Productive means what you can actually say or write. For most English learners, especially at the intermediate level, there's a huge gap between the two. You can read a business email and understand every word, but when you need to write one or speak in a meeting, it falls apart.
And I think this is where a lot of learners get stuck. They assume the problem is vocabulary, so they study more words. But the real problem is that they've never practiced using those words under pressure.
Right. There's a difference between knowing a word and owning it. You own a word when you can use it without thinking, when it just comes out, naturally, confidently.
Like driving. You don't think about changing gears anymore. You just drive.
Exactly. And getting to that point takes a very specific kind of practice. Not just reading, not just listening, something more active.
Let's talk about the struggles people don't say out loud. Because honestly, I've been there too.
Me too. What's the one that hits hardest for you?
The meeting situation. Imagine you're in a professional meeting. Maybe online, maybe in person. Someone asks for your opinion, and you have a great idea, a real, solid point. But while you're trying to find the right words in English, someone else says it, and everyone moves on.
That silence feels so loud.
It does. And after that happens a few times, you stop trying. You become the quiet one. Not because you have nothing to say, but because the language feels like a wall.
Another struggle I hear a lot, people say they sound too formal or too casual. Either they use very textbook English that sounds robotic, or they're so worried about sounding professional that they say almost nothing at all.
And the frustration of being smart in your own language but sounding basic in English, that's real. That gap between who you are and how you come across, that affects your confidence in ways that go beyond language.
Which is why this isn't just about English. It's about how you see yourself professionally. All right, so what actually works? Because people have tried flashcards, apps, YouTube videos, and still freeze.
The first thing, and this sounds counterintuitive, is to speak before you're ready. Most people wait until they feel confident to speak. But confidence comes from speaking, not before it. Every time you wait for the perfect sentence, you're reinforcing the habit of silence.
So it's about tolerating the discomfort of imperfection.
Exactly. Professional English doesn't mean perfect English. It means clear, structured English, delivered with some composure. You can say, "I'd like to add something here," instead of a grammatically perfect paragraph. That phrase alone buys you time and signals confidence.
The second thing, build what I call a personal phrase bank. Not generic phrases from a book, your own phrases, the ones that come up in your specific work or life. If you're in tech, you need phrases for describing problems, proposing solutions, disagreeing politely. If you're in healthcare, different ones. Make them yours.
And then practice them out loud. Not in your head, out loud. Because your mouth, your breath, your voice. They all need practice too. Your brain knows the word, but your mouth hasn't caught up yet.
The third thing, and this one changed things for me personally, is to replace filler silence with thinking phrases. Instead of going quiet when you need a moment to think, say something like, "That's a great point. Let me think about that for a second." Or, "I'd put it this way." These phrases do two things. They keep the conversation going, and they give your brain a few extra seconds to find the right words.
And the listener doesn't notice. They think you're thoughtful, not struggling.
Exactly. You look more professional when you pause with purpose than when you rush and stumble.
Okay, we have a challenge for you. And it's a small one, but it matters.
We love a challenge.
This week, pick one situation, just one, where you usually go quiet. Maybe it's a work call. Maybe it's ordering something. Maybe it's responding to a message in a group chat. And I want you to speak first, before you feel ready.
Don't overthink the grammar. Don't edit yourself before you start. Just begin the sentence and finish it, even if it's not perfect.
Write in the comments what that situation was and how it felt. Because we read those, and your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to hear.
All right, quick recap before we get to the vocabulary section.
First, there's a gap between what you understand and what you can produce. That gap is normal. It's fixable.
Second, confidence doesn't come before speaking. It comes from speaking.
Third, build a personal phrase bank for your specific world. Practice it out loud.
And fourth, use thinking phrases to stay in the conversation while your brain catches up.
Now, vocabulary time. Let's go through today's 10 words. These are intermediate-level words that will make you sound more professional immediately.
For each one, we'll say the word, the meaning, and a real example sentence. Then there's a speaking practice question. Pause the video, answer it out loud. That's the practice.
Word 1. Articulate. Meaning, to express ideas clearly and fluently. Example, she was very articulate during the presentation. Every point was clear. Practice. Describe your job in 2 sentences. Be articulate. Word 2. Composure. Meaning, calmness and control in a stressful situation. Example, he lost his composure when the client asked a difficult question. Practice. When do you lose composure? What helps you stay calm? Word 3. Elaborate. Meaning, to explain something in more detail. Example, could you elaborate on that point? I'd like to understand better. Practice. Elaborate on why you chose your current job or course. Word 4. Convey. Meaning, to communicate a feeling or idea. Example, her tone conveyed disappointment, even though her words were polite. Practice. How do you convey disagreement without sounding rude? Word 5. Assertive. Meaning, confident and direct without being aggressive. Example, being assertive helped him get the promotion he deserved. Practice. Give an example of a time you were, or should have been, more assertive. Word 6. Nuance. Meaning, a small but important difference in meaning. Example, there's a nuance between saying, I disagree, and I see it differently. Practice. What's a nuance in English that you find confusing? Word 7. Concise. Meaning, brief but complete, using few words. Example, keep your email concise. 3 sentences is enough. Practice. Describe your week in exactly 3 concise sentences. Word 8. Initiative. Meaning, the ability to act without being told. Example, She took the initiative to contact the client before the meeting. Practice. Describe a time you took the initiative at work or school. Word 9. Receptive. Meaning, open and willing to listen to new ideas. Example, a good manager is receptive to feedback from the team. Practice. Are you receptive to criticism? How do you respond to it? Word 10. Stumble. Meaning, to make a mistake or have difficulty when speaking. Example, he stumbled over his words but kept going, and that took courage. Practice. What topics make you stumble when speaking in English? Before we go, I want to say something that nobody says enough.
Go on.
The fact that you're learning English, a second language, maybe a third, and trying to use it professionally, that is not a small thing. That takes courage every single day.
And the awkward pauses, the imperfect sentences, the moments you freeze, those aren't signs of failure. They're signs you're in the process, and the process is exactly where growth happens.
Professional English isn't a destination you arrive at. It's a skill you build, quietly, consistently, one conversation at a time.
So the next time your mind goes blank, remember, you're not frozen, you're loading.
We'll see you in the next one. If this episode helped you, even a little, subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. We release new episodes every week, and each one is built around a real problem real English learners face. Drop your mini challenge result in the comments. We genuinely read them.